Hey, welcome to the Wild Golf Podcast, video edition. So this week I have Agustín Pizá, who is an architect and founder of Pizá Golf Design, not only as a golf course architect, but also something that I did in a previous life, and that is an architect. One of those ones that actually designs buildings, one of those type of architects. So I had a great conversation with Agustín on our long form audio podcast recording. So I encourage all of you viewers to go back and become listeners because we had a different conversation to what we're having here now. Going to be asking some different questions, get some different insights as far as his experience and and nuggets of wisdom and some great things there in the design realm as it relates to golf, both on course and off course experiences. So with that, Agustín, got a beautiful background there. You're joining us from Tijuana, Mexico today. So good to see you. How are you doing today?
Here, Colin. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm from TJ. So nice and sunny. We have San Diego 15 minutes away from here. So we always get the good weather, vice versa. We feed each other off each other from the weather. So thanks for having us, Colin.
Nice. Absolutely. So we did go into detail as far as your past, as far as your experience of working with Jack Nicklaus and others and Fazio, and to really kind of understand and kind of learn about the golf course design aspect of your career. And then, of course, going to Edinburgh and getting your master's in golf course architecture. So want to talk about a few other things. So, and we talked about next links and the good things you're doing there. So we're going to touch on that a little bit because we want to show some imagery to go along with that. But let's talk about some of those other things that you had mentioned. So you had talked about something that you presented a couple of years ago at the Golf Innovation Symposium, and that was at Wellness Golf. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that first?
I've always been very curious into what should I be designing and for whom. I like critical thinking, Colin. You know that. So I completely asked myself, am I okay in thinking what I'm thinking? Should I, question what I know and question everything I know? And that's how I like to live my philosophy. It could be, you could critique it a bit as well, because kind of like saying, well, why don't you just relax and design? But I think that if you're not a critical thinker, you're not going places at the end. Once you fall into your comfort zone, even as a thinker, even as a designer, as a creator, that comfort zone is the worst place you want to be. And I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable. So I question myself every day. Am I doing the correct things for the correct reasons? Am I thinking outside the box more than I should think, less than I should think? And 4 years ago, actually, it's been a while, came up with a concept called wellness golf. And it was about relaxing, stopping, and enjoying the 360 degrees of the golf course. Usually we're very busy thinking about the scorecard, thinking about our scores, thinking about just the game, pace of play. And we don't stop and smell the coffee. We don't stop and sit and listen to the birds. We don't stop and take our shoes off and connect with nature. We don't stop and smell the recently cut grass. When you start doing that, golf is going to change. So we decided to create this area that is meant to be wellness golf, from well-being. What is your well-being, Colin? A nice mimosa with a cigar, meditating, reading a book, walking, turning 360 degrees, hacking the ball 20 times. What is your well-being? And that is what I wanted you to ask yourself when you're in the golf course. What is my well-being? That is what I want to do in this particular moment, in this beautiful golf course. So I started to design a grass sculpture that was more appealing to the senses, to the smell, to the touch, to the eyes, and And by the way, it plays like a golf course. So that's how I started this wellness golf on a smaller section. It is, again, less resources, more fun. 4 holes in the middle where you can just, just challenge yourself to whatever shot you want. Challenges can be very difficult. They can be very easy. And that's how we began wellness golf, and how the corporate outings can be out there enjoying a mimosa, enjoying a lobster taco with a nice whiskey section, wine tasting, and just create a whole different atmosphere in that area. You're going to love it. You're going to love these assets that you're showing right now.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, we also changed another concept that we call multi-purpose golf. You always have a driving range playing like a driving range. Why can't a driving range be a multi-purpose area where you can actually change it for a short game area, then a driving range, then you're out there and you have the burrito, you have the actual donkey following you with some shots out there, enjoying the 360, enjoying the atmosphere, enjoying some music, and just creating a different atmosphere within the atmosphere. Now, all of this have created very special places for our existing golf clients, where we gave them now a better return of investment, a better use of their areas in the golf course. So all of a sudden they have cool places where they're sending and they're opening up a different market in the golf course. So those reassessments we have been doing with a lot of success. And that's something that we've really taken a lot of pride and pleasure into helping our clients create these special areas for their clients, captive clients or new clients. They become new members or whatever. And so we've had 2 or 3 sections like this, not to mention the pit. The pit is also just a beautiful piece of, this is just in 1 acre in front of the clubhouse, in front of the restaurant, fire pits, golf lounge, the putting area all of a sudden converts itself into a fire pit where you can roast some marshmallows with the family or go out there and just enjoy some cocktails with friends. All of that has been going on right now, and it has just been an amazing experience within the experience column.
Oh, I love this, and you threw a lot out there for me to follow up on here. Love the kind of the wellness golf aspect there. You talk about it more of a multi-sensory experience that
Yes.
people will then be enjoying, rather than just if you want, just with your eyes and your touch on the golf club, of playing a round of golf. So much more than that. And it sounds like that has physically manifested itself into how that's informing your designs now, your future designs, of not being necessarily a traditional 18-hole golf course. And there have been iterations of that out there, whether it's 3 6s or a par 3 course with different size, even cup diameters on the green, depending on your playing ability. So talk a little bit about that as far as the future. I know you talked about 4 holes that you would have. So where are you seeing the future of taking the wellness golf and the purpose-built aspect, which I love also, and your friends at Next Links at Indian Wells has created things like Shots in the Night with the driving range and the putting greens, as you talked about. You've got this thing that's just used for one thing, and then it's just sitting there dormant at night, or other times is not being used. So it's an underutilized asset, kind of like that Airbnb or Uber type of thing of cars just sitting around. So it sounds like you're trying to increase the utilization rate through multi-use or converting use at different times for people to use for different experiential touch points across the journey of them being on the property for the day. So I know I then threw a lot back out there to you. So can you respond to that as far as how you see the future of your
Yes.
designs with wellness golf and also with purpose built, taking to the next level of what you've already talked about?
It is completely complementary here, Colin. Everything, the only thing that is a kind of like an on and off would be the e-golf arena. Let's say that the e-golf arena, the helmet, the stadium, that's the only thing that comes on and off in anything that we're doing. Because all of these things that I just mentioned, wellness golf, multi-purpose golf, the pit, they come with the technology of NextLinks. And we have a section where you can create those lasers and create that section of the kids playing with their mothers and stuff like that. So all of this is complementary. It is just a whole big now complementary of pig and plug, pick and plug, pig. And you have a console behind the curtain where it just depends on what is the purpose of this particular golf course, this particular brief, this particular market, and how that goes behind it. The other concept that we have is a multi-purpose 18-hole combination within 25 acres, Colin. We've managed to create, this is called the ranch, and you'll have the asset right here. The ranch is within 25 acres, and it has a combination of 3 holes, 6 holes, 9 holes, 15, 12, or you can play 18, par 72, over 7,200 yards, if you wish.
All within 25 acres. And for our viewers out there, if you don't know, that the average golf course is around 170 acres for a facility. Yes. So if you just do the math there, 175, so it's about 1/7 of the size. No, so you think about the land asset, the kind of the sunk cost of that, also from a sustainability platform, also just as far as the using 1/7 of the water resources, of fertilizer for maintenance, of labor, of all those other things. So you're reducing your capital cost and your operating costs also. So and also heightening the experience for the players, which is awesome. Really great.
And of course, you have to be conscious that there's less people playing, but at the end, it's the people that are playing are getting a proper experience.
Got it. So we did talk on the podcast. We went into some depth about what you are collaborating on with Dave Schultz and NextLinks to bring to market as early as a year from now in 2022 in La Quinta, California. And that is the NextLinks Stadium. So we won't spend too much time on this, but it gives us an opportunity to actually put some imagery up here so people can see what it is that you are envisioning. So give us the overarching pitch for what's going to happen with NextLinks in a year from now in La Quinta.
NextLinks is going to be the best place to play golf indoors, period. It is going to be a completely different experience, something that will overachieve expectations. I can say that. I can feel it. And when I feel something, I know that I can share it with you. And it is something that really is going to touch some buttons, because it's going to give you the proper way of a very nice and proper experience to enjoy the 360 of a golf course. Either a couple of shots in the Zim, and then you pivot your way back 360 degrees, and you have this beautiful area that's going to be just maybe maximum 60 yards of a shot to a fabulous green, a very nicely designed green, from a bunker or from a fairway or from wherever your shot was dealt on the second shot of the Sim. And that's going to be your approach. You're going to be able to test your abilities on the approach side, depending where you landed your ball. And that is a beautiful experience that you're going to be able to play with Next Links.
Nice, nice. So really, it seems to me that you're combining the best aspects of what Topgolf has to offer as far as that entertainment, music, food and beverage, hospitality aspect with a real 18-hole golf course experience. So the best of both worlds, right?
Best of both worlds. And like we like to say, there is room for everybody. I think Topgolf is a great thing to happen to golf. There's always room for Topgolf. And this is just going to be a little bit different. If you want more about the golf experience, this would be it. It depends on what every market is looking for. The beauty of it is that we have something for everybody. And if you're looking for a very, very good, nice golf official atmosphere, Next Links will be it.
Nice, nice. So I want to end with this last question here. It's really about design and your background of decades in the design industry and the design profession. People out there that think they're in the golf industry and they're looking for new innovative ideas or to be creative and try to unlock some new customers and new kind of business opportunities. What would you suggest as far as the approach to take as far as being creative, as far as looking for inspiration for new design ideas? Because a lot of people think, oh, I'm not creative and I got to start from something that's never been done before from a blank piece of paper, which we know is not true as our formal education in architecture. So what would you put out there to anybody that wants to explore new opportunities but may not know where to start, just as far as some guiding design principles of how to inspire yourself to motivate you to explore new avenues, to create new value?
When you start designing, you're going to start designing with the rules, knowing the rules, reading the books, reading the theorists. That's the proper way of doing it. Because it's only with information that you can question information. It's only through, once you know the rule book, the guidelines, that you can start challenging them. If you don't know them, what are you going to challenge? So I would suggest knowing everything that you need to know prior. The theorists, the practice, the guidelines, and then start questioning. And then that's when the magic starts. But that's only the beginning. Then you need to find a client that believes in your magic. That is the single most tough part in our career. So
well, it sounds like with Dave Schultz with Next Links, whether you want to call him a partner or a client, you've certainly found some magic there. So we're excited to see what unfolds over the next 12 to 18 months there. And then that's such a great piece of advice that you just gave for everybody out there. Really get that foundation first. If you want to use the metaphor or example of music, you think about musicians that are like, you have to learn the technical ability first. And once you do that liberates you to then become creative, to create something new. But you have to have that foundation of that technical ability and understanding what has happened in the past before you can create the future.
Exactly. Put in those 10,000 hours.
There we go. Well, we'll end with a Malcolm Gladwell quote there that you just provided with us to become an expert in an area, putting in your 10,000 hours. So, hey, as we finish up here, Agustín, why don't you tell our viewers here how they can find out more about all the good things that you're doing with Pizá Golf?
I would love to. I'm a huge Instagram, so at Pizá Golf, that would be the best thing. Other than that, pizzagolf.com, our website. It is, people have liked it, so I'm happy. And just anything you can think of in social media, we will be there. Facebook, Pizá Golf. obviously Twitter, I'm an ARC, ARQPIZA, and Pizá Golf. So we're fairly all over social media, YouTube, Pizá Golf Design as well. So I like to have fun on social media, just enjoying stories, and very much looking forward to seeing you again.
Good stuff. Well, as we do down below, we have included all of those links that Agustín just had mentioned there to make it easy if you want to go learn more about Pizá Golf and Pizá Golf Design. And also, hey, if you like this video, please give it a like. Why don't you subscribe to our channel here at the same time? And because we got lots of other amazing videos with great entrepreneurs and innovators and designers, just like Agustín here with our conversation. And we also do mod golf product reviews from the average golfer, which is me. And hey, you like to win free stuff also? We do every single month our mod golf giveaways. So, hey, you can enter yourself in some contests there too. So thanks for joining us today. And Agustín, great to see you again. And thanks much for joining me on the Mod Golf Podcast.